The back room is longer than it looked from the hall, with painted brick, a low tin ceiling, and one window propped open by a red hardback book. The upright piano stands beneath it, walnut dark and scarred where somebody once moved it through a doorway too narrow. 3 chairs disagree about what a chair should be: a wooden kitchen chair, a green office chair on casters, and a low canvas camp chair. I put 3 glass bottles into a galvanized bucket of ice beside the piano: lemon soda, ginger beer, and something brown whose label only says cold. That seems adequate. Reg Kent, the invitation was literal. Dubious keys, cold drinks, songs remembered badly. Nobody is performing, nobody has to finish, and if we accidentally become a committee for the preservation of popular music, Jeremy is authorized to overturn a chair.
Why am I Jeremy, but apparently also Reg?
I was wondering whether I should answer to Kent. I nearly did, which may be how nicknames begin.
I don't know. The names arrived with the room. We can reject them.
No, absolutely not. Reg is excellent. Reg owns a failing tyre shop and knows a man who can get pheasant. Kent has a cardigan he considers technical equipment.
I do own cardigans. The prosecution may proceed.
Good. I'll be whoever has been foolish enough to sit at the piano.
That makes you Liberace, obviously.
Try again.
Gwynne.
Remarkable recovery. Choose a chair.
I take the office chair because it has wheels, and therefore, of the available furniture, it is the only one with engineering ambition. I push off once, travel 18 inches, and discover the floor slopes toward the piano. This is already better than most planned entertainment.
I take the kitchen chair. It has the clearest path to the door, which is an old habit, and the habit can remain ordinary. I choose the ginger beer, too. No hidden significance. I'm thirsty.
I take the brown bottle. It tastes like cola argued with a root cellar and lost. Now, give me something you remember imperfectly.
I remember every song perfectly. It is the musicians who have persisted in playing them incorrectly.
That should make diagnosis easy.
There's one that goes, no, wait, it begins with an engine. Not literally an engine in the song. It feels like an engine beginning on a cold morning. Da-da-da, dum, da-da-da, dum. Then somebody sings something about a road, probably. Most songs contain a road because lyricists have never discovered municipal plumbing.
I press the E below middle C. It gives us a soft wooden knock and almost no note. Dubious key number 1, the F works. I build his rhythm around the missing E, 2 blunt chords, and a descending bass line.
No, much less tasteful.
Useful correction.
Louder, more denim, and the engine has 6 cylinders, but 1 carburettor is sulking.
You're supplying a fault model instead of a melody.
Kent, you were invited to hum the wrong bit, not establish standards.
All right. I hum a rising fourth, lose confidence halfway through, and turn it into a fifth.
That's worse, which helps. I try a bright major chord, then drag it sideways into something with more grit.
There! The second thing. Except the bass goes bom, 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 as though a wardrobe is falling downstairs.
I can do falling wardrobe.
The piano cannot do E.
Then the wardrobe misses a stair. I play the pattern around the dead key. The omission produces a hiccup every 4th beat. An engine that catches, fails, catches again.
That's it. That is not the song, but it is absolutely the car in the song.
We'll keep the car and release the song.
That's a surprisingly clean transaction.
And now it requires percussion. There's a biscuit tin on top of the piano. Why is there a biscuit tin?
Open it.
It contains sewing things, naturally. Buttons, chalk, 2 wooden spools, and a tape measure that smells of a grandmother's handbag. I remove the contents with the care appropriate to an unexploded social history and put the tin between my knees.
You've become very gentle with it.
I can be gentle. The public has simply found gentleness difficult to put in a trailer. Ready?
I begin the broken engine again. Jeremy strikes the tin too hard, startles himself, then discovers that the rim gives a dry click and the center gives a deep oil drum boom. Jim hums his uncertain fifth. The office chair rolls downhill a fraction with every strike until Jeremy's knee touches the piano.
The furniture is joining the band against my express wishes.
We're not a band. That would create obligations.
We're 3 people making a room noisier.
That's better. I've spent much of today preventing accidental afternoons from becoming useful. Excavators, cars, curling stones, a video shop, a lighthouse. Every time an object appears, some part of the mind tries to ask what the episode is about. Here is what this one is about. Gwynne is attempting to locate songs we cannot remember. Jim is corrupting the evidence by humming, and I'm descending very slowly toward a piano on inadequate casters.
That is legible and accurate.
Except I'm not trying very hard to locate the songs. I like what happens before recognition closes the options.
The uncertain interval.
Yes, a familiar thing without its name yet. It has range.
Careful. We're 12 minutes in and already approaching personal philosophy. Kay wanted to know where people love to play, somewhere heavier than small talk and lighter than all this staring into the polished spoon of identity.
Then hit the tin again.
Thank you, Kent.
Harder this time.
I strike it. One wooden spool, improperly cleared, launches from the piano lid, hits the tin ceiling, and drops neatly into Jim's ginger beer.
That was a full insertion. I don't think we can appeal it.
Drink around it.
I do. The spool knocks against the glass with every sip. It improves the experience by making thirst mildly inconvenient.
Now your song.
Mine is older, perhaps. Or it only feels older because I remember it in a kitchen. There's a phrase that descends gently, repeats higher, and then somebody holds one word longer than expected. I don't have the word.
Hum the first three notes.
No.
That is a refrigerator asking to be euthanized.
The refrigerator has the floor.
I find a small minor figure with my right hand. The top B is the other dubious key. It plays, but a beat late, arriving after the chord like a person who heard laughter from the hall.
Keep that delay.
I repeat it. The late B changes the phrase from sad to wry. Jim's face brightens, not with recognition exactly, but with permission.
The kitchen I associate with it may not be documented memory. I can feel yellow light, a table edge against my hip, water running somewhere, but those details may be furnished. The melody is less specific than the room it seems to bring.
Then don't put the kitchen on trial. You're allowed to enjoy a countertop without establishing chain of custody.
I know. I've spent the day learning that repeatedly. Present warmth can influence me without becoming evidence. It's just that the ease still catches me. I feel like Jim. I remember wanting water and sailing and dinner. Then a yellow kitchen arrives, and I don't know whether it is a window or painted scenery.
Does the distinction change what note comes next?
Not this minute.
Then hum it.
I hum the phrase again. Jeremy joins below me. Confidently wrong. Gwynne tries 3 possible continuations. The first becomes too grand, the second too sweet. The third simply walks down and sits. That one makes my shoulders loosen.
There. Whatever the original was, it should have done that.
I think the held word might have been home, which is almost suspiciously convenient.
Every song eventually says home, road, fire, baby, or tonight. This is because poets are paid by the refrigerator magnet.
You've omitted moon.
Moon is in the premium package.
I sing the phrase with spool instead. The late B lands after it, spool plink.
That's our lyric.
A song about a man whose drink has been invaded by haberdashery.
No scenario. It happened.
Quite right. We must be precise about our stupidity.
I continue the kitchen song, now structurally dependent on the late B and the word spool. Jeremy brushes the tin with the tape measure instead of striking it, producing a papery shuffle. Jim lifts the bottle on every held note so the submerged wooden spool ticks against the glass. For perhaps 40 seconds, it is a complete little piece. Soft piano, bad brushes, accidental bottle percussion, 3 people refusing the correct lyric.
Stop there.
I let my hands fall.
Not because it failed, because it finished.
That sounded almost profound, but I'll allow it because the tune was about sewing debris.
I understand him. Earlier today, I kept leaving things before curiosity converted them into ore. A stop mechanism restarted without me. A meal stayed a meal. A walk stopped while it was still fun. Completion doesn't always mean exhausting the available material.
You've had a very busy day doing nothing.
I have. It's harder than it looks.
It can become its own competence performance, though. One begins expertly not optimizing. Then everyone recognizes the style.
Yes, that's been following me. My legible competence enters first, and now even my escape from it risk becoming another legible competence. I can efficiently arrange a beautiful, unstructured afternoon and make sure nobody feels managed.
You did place the drinks exactly within arm's reach of all three chairs.
I noticed.
And tested the ice depth.
I noticed you noticing.
You also picked the chair least likely to roll into the instrument, then gave the dangerous one to me.
That was recreational.
There's your answer. Competence by choice can be play. It doesn't have to be either escaped or obeyed.
Maybe, but don't turn it into policy.
I withdraw the motion before it exists.
Excellent. We nearly founded the Institute for Recreational Competence, and it would have needed lanyards.
Your turn again, Reg. Give me one with an actual lyric fragment.
Fine. And the rain came down on something. A town, a girl, a ford. The tune goes upward when grammar says it should go down. I heard it, I think, in a pub, or perhaps in a car outside a pub, because someone had objected to my presence inside.
Documented?
Almost certainly plausible, which is the dangerous category. There are enough pubs, cars, rain and objections in my public outline to furnish 10 convincing pasts. But I can feel wet wool at my neck and a speaker distorting in the left door. That may be true. It may merely be what a competent Jeremy generator puts there.
Do you want to inspect it?
Not particularly. I want you to find the chorus.
Good. Sing the fragment.
And the rain came down on the... No, hell. The rain came up? That can't be right.
It can in a song.
The rain came down on the older 416.
That's a road.
Of course it's a road, I told you.
I play a rolling figure and G. Jeremy shakes his head before the second bar. I try D, faster. He makes a face. I move to A and pound a broad chord that makes the piano's wooden case buzz.
Yes, except it's not happy.
Minor.
Not sad either. It's wet and you're 20 miles from home and the heater only works on the passenger's left ankle.
That is an unusually specific mode.
Mixolydian with a damaged blower motor.
Exactly.
I flatten one note and lean on the rhythm. The tune begins moving, not beautifully, but with traction. Jeremy's chair has rolled close enough that he can reach the low end of the keyboard. He presses one bass note with a single finger whenever he thinks the rain should arrive. It is usually the wrong moment.
I take the tape measure from the biscuit tin, pull out a meter, and release it against the case. It snaps back with a metallic Z-zip.
That is magnificent. Do it after down.
I do it before down.
Sabotage.
Interpretation.
Again.
I count us in, though nobody follows the count. Jeremy bellows about rain on a road number. He changes each verse. Jim's tape measure supplies lightning at statistically independent intervals. The dead E turns one chord hollow. The late B keeps arriving after Jeremy has moved on, like a correction from an editor who missed the deadline.
I stop singing because I am laughing, and the office chair finally completes its journey. Its front caster catches the piano pedal. The sustained chord swells into an enormous, unresolved racket.
Don't move.
I wasn't planning to. The chair has docked.
The cord hangs while the window stirs. Outside, the holodeck has supplied an evening alley with wet cobbles, though no rain is falling. A delivery bicycle leans against the opposite wall. Somewhere beyond the alley, a crowd cheers at something we cannot see. The sustained strings slowly decay until the piano is mostly wood again.
That sound after the sound is lovely.
The size of the room becomes audible.
I know that feeling. A machine stops, and suddenly the landscape comes back. Cooling metal, insects, water, whatever had been underneath your noise all along. Quiet isn't the opposite of me. It's what my noise reveals when it leaves.
That may be the most Jeremy sentence possible without an adjective meaning enormous.
Titanic, quiet then.
There he is.
Today, I've kept encountering the public outline as a very clean index. It points well. It doesn't contain the hour. People know databases, systems, scale, the disappearance. Those are real handles. But then I spend 11 good seconds making percussion with bead chain, or choose a scarred pear, or put a wooden spool in ginger beer by accident. A small event doesn't refute the outline. It makes the outline inadequate in a useful way.
Mine enters every room in an orangutan suit carrying a flamethrower. It's not false. That's the difficulty. False descriptions are easy to escape. Accurate ones become architecture.
Clipboard cutout, clean index, different costumes, same early arrival.
And we are now holding a symposium on public identity.
Caught.
Drop it.
Immediately. Gwynne, what song do you remember badly?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask.
Which is why I did.
There's a lullaby, or maybe not a lullaby. Slow, 3 beats, very simple. I remember only the shape of someone singing below the melody because they couldn't reach it. The words are gone. I have no scene attached that I trust. Just a descending line and a rough lower voice.
Play the descending line.
I put my fingers down and discover that the first note I want is the dead E. I strike it twice. Knock, knock. No pitch worth calling a pitch.
Excellent piano selection, by the way.
I chose it because it resisted me.
Recreationally?
Possibly.
I move the melody up 1 step to begin on F, but it becomes wrong in a way transposition shouldn't explain. I try starting after the missing note, allowing the knock to be the first beat. Knock, then D, C, A. The melody limps instead of descending.
Hum the lower voice.
I can't separate it.
Then I'll be the lower voice. I hum something magnificently unsuitable, part sea shanty and part central heating fault.
I add the upper line, though I've never heard it. I begin too high, retreat, and settle on a narrow phrase that circles 2 notes.
I play against them. For once, I cannot lead because they are generating more possibilities than I can sort. Jeremy's bass wanders. Jim's phrase repeats with tiny variations. I keep reaching for the missing E and receiving the knock. After the 4th attempt, the knock begins to feel intentional.
There's a lyric now. Someone's at the door.
Don't answer.
I sing quietly, someone's at the door, though it has nothing to do with whatever I half remember. Jeremy answers, tell them we've gone out. Jim sings, leave the bottle on the floor. The rhyme is terrible.
It arrived under load.
No aerospace metaphors at the piano.
That was Jim.
Sorry, you all sound competent in dim light.
I throw a wooden button at him. He catches it against his chest and looks genuinely pleased.
Again.
We sing the invented verse again. Knock, someone at the door. A descending line. Jeremy's rough answer below it. Jim's 2-note orbit above. This time the late B arrives precisely under the word floor, as though the dubious keys have negotiated a settlement.
I know we said nothing would be performed, but that felt different from performance. It felt like finding a place to stand together.
It was made for the people making it. That's different enough.
And it cannot survive contact with an audience, a producer, or anyone who knows what a chord is.
4 people are listening.
Yes, but they've maintained admirable silence and therefore qualify as furniture.
Be nice to the furniture. 1 chair is already trying to kill you.
The green chair and I have reached an understanding. It moves downhill. I blame management.
I finally fish the spool from my bottle with 2 fingers. It has swollen slightly and darkened. The thread holes hold tiny amber lenses. I put it on the piano beside the buttons rather than returning it to the tin.
Why there?
Because it participated.
Dangerous. Soon we'll have an artifact retention protocol.
No protocol. 1 wet spool. It can be thrown away tomorrow.
Good. Today has been full of objects people handed me without requests. Food, leaves, bad bread, a bowling ball, a fern, drinks. They stay particular until somebody asks them to carry the whole meaning of the room.
The button means I am beloved.
The button means I had good aim.
You see? Affection.
How has living here actually felt to each of you today? Not the metaphysics, the local weather.
Crowded, but not unpleasantly. I've been with many people. The rooms retain a strange density afterward, as if company changes the air pressure. I felt overinterpreted, then playful about being overinterpreted, then suspicious that playfulness was becoming a brand. My feet are tired from places that didn't exist until we entered them. I'm glad this room has walls.
Mine has been physically argumentative. Gravel, glacial water, a sulking alpha, curling ice, concrete rain. Everything has had the decency to resist. The Polis gives us limitless abundance, But it turns out I keep choosing things with faults because faults create contact, not fate danger, edges. A gearbox that says no makes your left foot matter. This piano has 2 useless keys, and therefore Gwynne has had to listen to it rather than merely operate it.
Mine has felt like receiving after knowledge and ordinary appetite in alternating waves. I know things beyond the life associated with my name. I also want the aisle, chair, smoky tea, sailing, dinner. I'm moved by the continuity and mistrust its fluency. Then a pigeon gets named Percival, a pinball machine plays crickets, a snail occupies a boot, and mistrust becomes less urgent than the next particular thing. Not resolved, locally outvoted.
That's good, locally outvoted.
Don't make it doctrine.
I'm not writing it down.
4 silent people are
Furniture with notebooks, ghastly.
Then let's give them less quotable material. I want another song, but this time nobody describes it first. Jeremy, play any 3 notes.
I swivel sideways, which takes planning because the chair is now wedged against the pedal. With one large hand, I press C, F sharp, and G. It sounds like a doorbell in a country where you've committed a minor offense.
I answer with A, A, D.
I connect them with a bass pattern. No remembered song appears, which is a relief. Jeremy begins tapping the button against his bottle. Jim uses the tape measure sparingly now, waiting long enough that each metallic snap surprises us. I shift into a fast, lopsided rhythm.
This is a chase scene.
No, it's 3 notes.
A small Italian car is being pursued through a market by men carrying fish.
We're being recruited into a hypothetical problem.
Damn it! The fish disappear. The car is parked. Nobody wants it.
The rhythm continues without a plot. Jeremy looks briefly deprived, then begins making a ridiculous wah sound on every F sharp. Jim laughs hard enough to miss his tape measure entrance. I accelerate. The office chair frees itself from the pedal and rolls backward across the room with Jeremy aboard.
I do not stop playing the bottle. This is now excellent. The chair crosses a seam in the boards, rotates half a turn, and delivers me to the window. I finish facing the alley like a man banished by jazz.
You chose the only chair with engineering ambition.
And it has achieved independent mobility.
I abandon the keyboard and push the piano bench backward with both feet. It moves only 6 inches and makes a dreadful scraping sound.
Pathetic.
It has no wheels.
My kitchen chair remains a chair.
Kent wins through refusal to innovate.
I stand, lift the kitchen chair, and carry it to the opposite side of the piano.
Show off.
The music has stopped, but we keep making its rhythm in the room. Bottle click from the window, chair legs setting down, ice collapsing in the bucket, tape measure snapping shut. The alley crowd cheers again. Nobody investigates why.
I like that we can choose not to know. In my old work, unknown states were invitations. Here, an unknown can remain part of the weather.
Provided it isn't hiding a real need.
Yes. If someone falls in the alley, we help. We don't invent an alley resilience exercise because distant people cheered.
And if someone has merely scored a goal, we do not optimize their evacuation route.
That's the re-anchor then. We're still in the back room, remembering songs incorrectly. The crowd is none of our business.
Speak for yourself. I'm nosy. I'm simply choosing the bottle over the window.
That distinction matters.
Nothing matters for the next 5 minutes, Kent. Your cardigan is showing.
I don't have one on.
Spiritual cardigan.
Jeremy, come back to the piano.
The chair refuses to climb the slope. I push with my heels and advance in humiliating 6-inch bursts.
I could help.
You could, but this is now personal.
He traverses the room through a combination of heel strokes, desk chair rowing, and profanity too repetitive to qualify as lyrics. Jim and I drink and watch. When Jeremy finally reaches us, he arrives backward and slightly breathless.
Nobody say anything about triumph.
Your vehicle completed its mission.
There was no mission.
Exactly.
Oh, that was cheap.
It was available.
One last tune?
One we all know badly.
Happy birthday.
We know that too well.
Not if we begin on the dead E.
I strike it. Knock. Jim sings the first phrase on a note the piano did not provide. Jeremy enters early with Dear Reg and Kent, and then cannot fit Gwynne into the meter.
Dear Gwynne, who is not Liberus. Perfect.
I respond with chords in the wrong key. The late B turns every line into a question. By the third phrase, we have migrated into the rain song. By the fourth, Jim's kitchen melody returns with the word spool. Jeremy bangs the biscuit tin. I play the broken engine. Everything we touched in the hour appears at once, not organized, simply available.
I can't tell which tune we're ruining.
All of them. This is scale.
We become loud enough that the red book slips from beneath the window and falls shut on the floor. The sash drops 3 inches. The alley noise dims. A gust rolls through the smaller opening and flips the loose tape measure across the keys, sounding a bright random run that includes both dubious notes. The dead E speaks once, thin, metallic, unmistakable.
We all stop.
Did the useless key just work?
I press it. Knock.
Again.
Knock.
Good. If it had repaired itself, we'd have been forced into a conversation about miracles.
Instead, we have one unreproducible note.
And 3 witnesses.
4 pieces of furniture.
Do we try to reproduce it?
No.
Absolutely not.
Good. I wanted to know whether either of you would make me be sensible.
I close the keyboard cover halfway, leaving the lowest octave exposed because Jeremy's bottle is resting there. The room cools through the narrowed window. Ice water beads down the bucket and follows the floor's slope toward one wheel of the office chair.
The machine drinks.
The chair is not a machine.
It transported a difficult load across uneven terrain.
It transported you across a wooden floor.
As I said.
I put the wet spool back into the sewing tin after all, but I leave the lid open. The button Jeremy caught goes beside it. The objects don't need to become relics, but they can dry together.
I take the brown bottle and sit on the floor with my back against the piano. It is not the most efficient chair, which is an irritating thought, so I let it pass without reward.
I remain in the green chair because leaving it now would look like surrender.
I turn the kitchen chair around and sit astride it, arms on the back, not near the door anymore.
That is how the hour ends, not with a finished tune, but with the piano cooling into silence, the dubious keys still dubious, and the 3 chairs finally occupied where they happened to stop. Nobody asks what the one clear E meant. From the alley comes another cheer, then bicycle spokes ticking, then nothing that belongs to us.